Even folks, welcome back to Leeds View, the match day preview for Wolverhampton Wanderers versus Leeds United. Couple of really big games coming up for Leeds in the next couple of weeks. 3 more matches before the next international break comes and casts this massive shadow over us and sets us all for a couple of weeks. But a big opportunity this week for Leeds to get something on the board before 2 very difficult games at home against Bournemouth, and then again just after that against Spurs. So Leeds have a great chance here. We'll go through the form guide. We'll go through team news for both sides. We'll also look at any statistics between these two sides over history, as well as where we are in the table coming in. As I say, injury news as well, and key statistics, as well as some data for you before we get into tomorrow's game. If you want to smash a like on the video, that would be hugely appreciated in the more tricky times with the YouTube algorithm playing up. But I'm delighted to be able to go through this with you tonight. A couple of people already in the chat. Good evening to Jack. Good evening to Paul. Evening, Steve. Good evening, Jason. Morning, I should say, Jason. Actually, yeah. And evening to Joe Bennett as well. And Paul Brennan there as well. Start on the front foot. Pace, tempo, as we like to say around these parts, isn't it? So, yeah, look, there's a lot to go through. There's a lot to get stuck into. But it is, the be-all and end-all of this is that Leeds have a very strong record against Wolverhampton Wanderers. Wolves are not in a good run of form right now. Leeds have a fantastic opportunity to go and get some points on the road. I think Leeds won 1 away game the entire season. We went down the last time. This will be a chance to get that one out of the way already. When we go through the statistics, you'll see what the record's like against Wolverhampton Wanderers. Leeds have a very good record in Molineux, and Wolves, since the back end of last season and into this, have not been in a terrific form. Joe also in the house, Newtown, Mount Kennedy, you know it well, played football up there a couple of times. Steve Brown is there. Anthony, good evening. Andrew, good evening. Clouds or BLX, catch you name there, mate. Hi, Jer, are you going to finish with at least 67 points? I'll happily finish with 41 points. That would be nice for us to get. Westfest at the 4 Als. Hello, Julie. Good evening to you. Once good months in attacking corners. Do you know what? If we can get him to do exactly what he did the other way, happy out. But yeah, we'll see what happens. He's desperately unlucky against Fulham, though. Really unlucky. It's a real shame that happened. Again, all week, the conversation's been dominated by Daniel Farke's comments in the press conference about that game. Had good months and not put the ball through his own net. We'll be talking about 3 clean sheets in 4 matches in the Premier League, which is really strong. Steve saying Strand Larson fit to play. Well, we'll get to that. Not necessarily totally fit to play, but definitely in contention. Unstoppable header. It really was. I mean, give him 99 more chances. I bet he misses every single one of them. Even Luke, hope you're well, mate. All is well. Like and subscribe. Hype after the live stream. The algorithm has screwed our favorite creators. It's on top of not just us. I know my brother's a Villa fan. I've said that before. He's watched some Villa creators and they've commented on the same thing. I watch a lot of nerdy stuff as well, wrestling and Marvel stuff, and they're all commenting on it as well. So there's clearly something bigger going on. YouTube say there isn't. So we'll hope it fixes itself over the next couple of weeks. But yeah, Joe is saying good result wanted tomorrow. I think the pressure is to score a goal or 2. And I think once we get the first one, monkeys off the back, then I think we can relax a little bit. But I tell you what we'll do, because these streams won't be long. They're like the warm-up last year. And if those comment section is currently in the way of the statistics, I'll fix that over time. We'll get that one right. But let's start off with the form guide, and let's start off with Wolverhampton Wanderers. They are the home side. It's in Molineux. And as we go into this game, Wolves are sitting 20th in the table at present. Played 4, won none, drew none, lost all 4. 0 points on the board for them. We'll get that off the screen so we can actually see it. At home this year, because the home record is important for this game as they're the home side. They've played 2. They've lost both of them. They've conceded 7 goals at home in 2 games. In total, they lost to Manchester City at home 4-0. Then they lost 1-0 away to Bournemouth. They lost 3-2 at home to Everton and 1-0 loss on the road to Newcastle. So it's not been great for them at the moment. Rodrigo Gomez and He Chang Huang are their goal-scoring threats, 1 each. But as has been said in the chat, Strand Larson could be very much back in contention for this game, and that might change how this one looks. Although I think last year most people wouldn't have mentioned Strand Larson in any kind of danger attack, but this year he's the big player, so we'll go with that. From Leeds' perspective, sitting 16th in the table right now, I think we'd all happily take that come the end of the year as well. Played 4, won 1, drew 1, lost 2, scored 1 goal, and that is the narrative, but only conceded 6 goals. And when you take the Arsenal game out of it completely, then It's a very different scenario. Outside of Arsenal, no opposition player has scored against Leeds this season, which is crazy. Take Arsenal out of the equation. No other opposition player in the 3 games has scored against us. So it is really, really, really interesting. So yeah, we'll see how we get on there. Just going to quickly chat again. Calvert-Lewin going to bury 4 goals first. Hopefully he does. Even into Danny Hawk's Leeds. Paul Brennan there as well. Yeah, so that's the situation there. Leeds, as I say, outside of the Arsenal game, only Leeds have scored against Leeds, which is the most Leedsy thing, I suppose, we could possibly do. Joint 13th. Yeah, sorry, Jason. We are. And have we got a point at the weekend? We were talking about top 10. If we won the game last weekend, we're in top 6, I think, or top 7. So yeah, we'll have to see how it irons out. But yeah, that's how fine the margins are, specifically at this early stage of the season. 2 defeats on the road for Leeds, though. So going to Molineux with their record, with the conversations over the last couple of weeks, that game on the road gives Leeds probably Leeds' best chance of away points, at least between now and the end of the next international break, or the one after that in November. So tough games coming up for Leeds. So get the points where you can. Also, it's important to try and open up a gap while you can as well. They've got no points. If Leeds can get 3 points at the weekend, 7-point gap between us and them, and they're likely to be down there with us. So wherever we can pick up the points along the way, grab them with both hands and hang on to them if you can. We'll get into some team news now. It has changed slightly since we set up, but we'll start with Leeds team news. And no Dan James for this game. He has a core problem, will be out of the match. Lucas Perry is also out. Daniel Farkas said we'll know more about Lucas Perry's situation come next week. There is a niggling doubt over Willie Gnonto, not completely ruled out, hadn't trained before the press conference. Farkas was giving him as much chance as he could to be involved in this game and said he could train before the game on Saturday, and we'll see what the situation there is. Likely to be on the bench, I would imagine, either way. Good news for Leeds, returning Tanaka as well as Joel Piroe. Both of them have been passed fit for this. No issues with DCL, no issues with Mecha, and no issues with Noah Okafor either. And I have been told when I say Noah Okafor, it sounds like I'm saying no Okafor. So I'll overpronounce Noah Okafor, just so there's not that mix up again. But there you go. Yeah, so that's good news. All the main players are fit and healthy and should be good to go, outside of obviously Dan James and Perry. See what the situation is with Willie Gnonto. I have a niggling feeling, we get the team new, the likely lineup. I have a niggling feeling that Jack Harrison starts. If you want to let me know your team sheet predictions in the chat as well. Also, what your score predictions for this game are. I'm going 2-0 to Leeds. I think it's important. I think we're very capable of doing it. So let me know what you think in the chat. From a Wolverhampton Wanderers team news, this has changed, so I'll go through this in a bit more detail. But Jose Sa is a doubt for the game. Leon Chiwome is out. He's one of the under 21 players that's been involved with the first team this year. Kiana Hoiver is also a doubt for the game. And Jorgen Strand Larsen, who on this I have down as out, is possible to play. He has trained yesterday and today. They said that he is available for selection for Pereira if he decides to pick him for the match. So they're not missing the better player, or at least their best striker currently. And again, I don't see why the narrative should be so big about him. I don't know what he's done that's really worried everybody. For me, he's a good player. I know clubs wanted him during the summer, but the inflated price of transfers in the Premier League specifically didn't really scream to me that the guy was worth the amount of money that was being touted. But you could now score against Leeds United, and then that'll be all on me, won't it? But yeah, well. So he's back in contention. Strand Larsen's there, a couple more out, but they have also got potential. John Arias is available as well for them as well. So they've got some decent players that can come in. But again, as I say, they're rock bottom of the table, rock bottom. And we need to go to these teams, and these have to be earmarked as places where we can get some points. We'll move on, though, and look at some key statistics for this game to get stuck into. We'll start off with this one here. And not everyone's going to love this, but Leeds are looking for their first top flight away win since beating Wolverhampton Wanderers 4-2 in March 2023 when Jack Harrison scored the opener in that game. So again, our last top flight away win comes against Wolves. Next two are interesting ones as well. There have been 4 red cards in the last 4 meetings at Molineux. Ronaldo Vieira for Leeds in 2017, Raul Jimenez in 2022, Johnny Otto and Mateus Nunes were both sent off in 2023. 3 red cards for Wolves, just the 1 for Leeds. And Leeds are looking to earn 3 consecutive league wins at Molineux back-to-back in the club's history. That's just Molyneux wins, but there is other statistics we'll get to in a few minutes' time. We'll talk about them. But again, yeah, you look at the history between these two sides, it tends to favour Leeds. Ilya Groove commented during the week as well. He said he feels that this game favours Leeds, so it will be interesting. The key battles for me, it's got to be the attack. This one, we've got to focus on that. We know we're solid defensively. We know we're solid in midfield. The attack has to be there. We need more goal scoring opportunities created. They don't have to necessarily be from a creative player. All the talk this week has been about getting creative players. It just needs to be about how Leeds approach the goal, change the point of attack instead of, I've said it a lot over the last 7 days, instead of coming infield with your wingers, go outside and get crosses in for your big strikers who have been staying central when we have had the ball in wide areas. The other option is try and push the fullbacks on more. They haven't been as advanced as they were last season, the championship, for lots of understandable reasons, but they haven't been. And there's an opportunity there to get them wide and get balls into the box. It is the first time in a very long time that Leeds United have had a 6-foot+ striker, options of 6-foot+ strikers to actually aim balls in who are good with their head and might get on the end of something. But maybe the point of attack for me is the first thing they should be focused on changing right now. I would say continue to be physical and really aggressive as well. What's worked well for Leeds and Newcastle, what worked well against Everton, and worked well for probably 65 minutes against Fulham was Leeds' aggressive nature, in their face, on the front foot, pushing them back, not letting them play out from the back, pressing high, limiting the space in behind for them to play into. All worked very well. I felt against Fulham, we just took our foot off the gas a little bit too early and gave their fullbacks a bit more space to finally start coming into it. And then that starts to allow the rest of the team to push on up the field. And they created some chances. But for me, that's a huge part. As I say, opportunity to commit more bodies forward in this game as well. Again, you've got to look at where they are in the league, and you've got to have a couple of games this season where you look at really going for it. Catherine Hanna from BBC Radio Leeds also said that this week to Daniel Farke. Are you going to just, take the break off and go for it this game? And he said, we've got to be balanced. We've got to be mindful about the back as well. I understand that. It has been the foundation this season, and it's really, really good. But Leeds need to get more goals from midfield, and we need more goals from attack as well. It's another game under their belt for Dominic Calvert-Lewin and Noah Okafor. So another game behind them. Should be a little bit sharper. There was some nice moments of link-up play, only a couple, but there were some nice signs there of a potential relationship building between the two of them. Want to see more of that if we can. And one of the big things for me going into this game that we didn't see an awful lot of in the last couple of games is Leeds need to release the ball a lot earlier. When we get into wide positions and come in field, let it go. We're taking too many touches. We're getting crowded out, mainly in the advanced wide areas. That needs to be sped up a little bit, tidied up a little bit, but just move that ball quicker, let it do the work for them. And I think we should be fine. But if we do it at speed, I know I've been saying it for years. I think I'll say it till Daniel Farke is not here anymore. But tempo. Leeds need to be a driving force. Leeds need to let the players go in this game. We've got good defenders. We've got good defensive midfielders. They can cover ground. They can run. Trust them to do that. Team prediction-wise, this is where my head is at for this one. Darlow obviously starts in goal. Bogle and Goodmunson, the two fullbacks. Rodon and Stroke at centre half. Then Ampadu, Stack and Longstaff. I don't think he brings Tanaka in. I would love to see Tanaka in there, but there is a trade-off now. If you bring someone like Tanaka in there or any other player in, who drops out and what do you sacrifice by doing that? The front three is where I think he's going to make a change. I have a feeling he's going to start Jack Harrison in this game. Harrison's got a good record against Wolves. I know Farke said he doesn't buy into that, but he has got a good record against them. He talked about him during the week. I have a funny feeling he starts Harrison, Okafor on the other wing, and DCL up top. So, yeah, that's where my head's at. I'm not blown away by the idea of starting Jack Harrison, but he has got a good record against them. I thought Brendan Aronson did well in the job he was given to do against Fulham, defensively higher up the pitch. I got the reasons he was in there. It was nice to see him at least be able to do that kind of the game, that side of the game well, and he did do it well. And then we're just lacking going forward. Vegas saying Tanaka in for Longstaff for them. Lucas saying literally let one of those who can play too much structure, ruins the quality of the players. But Farke has told people to hold back. We know that. Yeah, he has done. He has. That's his style. And you've got to, the players have got to respect the manager's wishes on that. That's how he wants to play football. I've said before, I do think that Leeds are better when the handbrake is off a little bit and they're allowed a little bit more creative freedom. But we'll have to see. Danny is saying Tanaka for Stack. For me, Stack hasn't been on it since Everton. I disagree. I've seen a couple of people say that, but I think he's been very good. I mean, he's still got the most advanced passes we have in the league. He's still created the most chances for us. I don't think he's playing in his natural position right now because of Tanaka being out of that team. I think had it been Ampadu, Tanaka, and Stack, you would have seen him in probably more natural position. And he's not been part of that three since the first game of the season. Jason is saying 1-0 to Leeds. I see a mirror image of the Everton game if Strand is out. He's not apparently, and he could be good. You think my starting lineup? Well, we're heads in the same place, mate. Snack needs to be our CDM. That's what I'm talking about. That's where I think his natural position is. Central defensive midfielder. Probably isn't helping him, but then they've been very solid. Nothing's coming through the middle of the park. If you see teams running straight through us, then I get worried about the midfield. Right now, I'm not too much. Andrew is saying we need to play the ball over the back of teams and hit them on the break, but the manager doesn't like to play this way. Yeah, I think you got to shake it up a little bit. I think you've got to go long when the option is there. To space in behind, we've got quick players. Let's utilize that. The space isn't there. Retain possession, build from the back. But yeah, there's a bit there. Well said. We can beat them. Believe we can. I think we definitely can. I think we have to. Danny's saying 1-0. Aronson goal. That would get a lot of people off his back. I've said before, I see the value of Brendan Aronson in certain games. I see the value of him as part of the squad. I think Leeds need better starting the game, but that's not just in that position. I think Leeds just need, as they get better, they'll get better in. But yeah, for me, that's the one. I would like to see Tanaka in more of a 10 this game. I don't think you will. He's naturally an 8 or a 6 anyway. He's a ball playing 6, but he's more of an 8. I get the reasons for him being a 10. He likes to shoot. We can't find the pass. I'd like to see somebody more creative in there than necessarily him. I've been saying it for 2 years with Willie Nanto. Some people agree, some people don't agree. I think Willie Nanto's got all the attributes to, on paper at least, be a decent number 10. Low center of gravity, quick, 2-footed, can shoot from distance, has an eye for a quick pass, has a little bit of skill about him. Just my own personal thoughts, but he hasn't played enough in there, and I understand the reasons that people don't want him there either. Okay, some other statistics to get stuck into that will make you happy. These will definitely keep you happy because they did me. Wolves are winless in their last 4 Premier League meetings against Leeds. They've drawn 1 and lost 3. They have scored first in 3 of those games, and Leeds have gone on either to beat them or draw with them. So, yeah, in the last 4 Premier League matches between Leeds and Wolves, Wolves haven't won. There you go. Couldn't read that for a second. Outside of the Molyneux streak that we talked about at the start of the show, Leeds have won each of their last 3 games against Wolves. And the last time we won 4 in a row against Wolverhampton Wanderers was 1971 under Don Revie. Wolves have won 8 of their last 10 games in the Premier League against newly promoted sides. The last time 4 in a row happened was, the last win. The last one 5 in a row was between March 1963 and February 1914. Start that again. 1964. Wolves have won 8 of the last 10 games in the Premier League against newly promoted sides, winning the last 4 in a row against newly promoted sides. They last won 5 in a row between March 1963 and February 1964. That run came to an end against Leeds United. So if Leeds beat them here, that comes to an end again. Wolves have lost 8 of their last 9 home Premier League games in August and September, conceding 28 goals at Molyneux across 9 matches. So between last season and this season, 28 goals against in Molyneux in just 9 matches, which is... Don't tell me we shouldn't be going for this one. You know, everything on paper, everything about it says Leeds should be having a go at them. And I want to see that. I want to see Leeds have a proper go in this game. This is the one. There's a couple of matches you can eyeball and go, I want to see us play our best football. We're very good defensively. We know that. We've talked an awful lot about it. Even tonight, I want to see us attack now. This is the one. This is the one. And we'll see how we get on. But yeah, it'll be an interesting game, folks. We are doing a watch along over on Big Up. You can check that out. And then straight after that, we'll have the live stream on YouTube and the instant match reaction. You can join us here for that as well. Today's news is available as well. Would really appreciate you checking that out. If you haven't already, that would really help us here as well. And outside of that, that's about it for today. I'll leave you with it. We'll, as I say, tomorrow, 2:30, bigup.com. Wolverhampton Wanderers versus Leeds, watch along, then back over onto YouTube just after 5 o'clock when the game is over to do the instant match reaction. And then back on Monday morning for the news and back into a normal cycle as we get ready for the Bournemouth at home game next Saturday week. So we'll see how that goes. Folks, enjoy the rest of your evening and your weekend if I don't speak to you. Enjoy yourself. See you. Bye.